Hey everybody, this is Mark over at knifegloves.com. Just putting up a quick video to show you how I solder the blades onto the copper fingertips. I just finished this glove earlier today. It's got the mirrored blades on it, if you can see that. It also features the new color of my new Part 1 glove that is coming out probably next week. When I say next week, today is August 29th, 2008, but this does show the new color of the Part 1 glove. I was able to get a new color for it and also make it look much dirtier than before. That's always an area that I've been working on and struggling with, trying to get the gloves look as dirty as possible, but thanks to a few people who I owe favors to now, they were able to help me artificially age the gloves so they look much dirtier and used than before. So anyway, but that's not the purpose of this video. So what I'm gonna do is show you how I prepare the pieces of copper and prepare the steel blade for soldering. I'll get the glove over there. And so this is the little copper fingertip. I'm just bent it really quick, didn't put a ringlet on it. I'm not going to use this for a glove. It's got the little tip right here that you get when you bend those pieces down. I always file those off with my bench grinder because the curve right here on my blade is rounded, if you can see that. Apologize, I'm looking at myself upside down in a monitor, so if I'm doing things backwards, I apologize. So since it's rounded, I do have to file that tip off. So I'll take my camera out into the garage and show you how I do that. And I also have to clean up the copper and clean up the blade, and then I'll show you how I position it, how I flux it, and then how I heat it and then apply the solder. Hopefully I'll get some good examples of some good clean soldering lines. Hopefully you guys can see that because I'm in here doing this by myself, and hopefully I can get some good camera angles to show you how I solder it. So stay tuned, and I'll go ahead and get situated out in the garage and we'll go from there. So hang tight. Okay, so here I am out in the garage, my lovely garage with a microwave. No, it's not plugged in. I eat inside. Anyway, just thought I'd show you. This is where I color all my gloves. I hope you're enjoying the tour of my lovely garage. Got lots of leather dye, lots of little spray bottles. I need an airbrush to save some money because those things are $6 a piece and you go through quite a few of them. But anyway, just thought I'd show that to you for fun. So let's get back to business here. I've got, let me try and squeeze around the camera. Got my bench grinder here. What I have is a very fine, it's the fine grinding wheel, and I also have a wire wheel over here, which has become my lifesaver in glove building. So if you don't have a bench grinder, get one. They're not that expensive. You can just get a cheap one, or you can get a heavier duty one and hopefully it lasts a little longer. So I've got the copper piece here, and again, hopefully you can see this. I can't see myself right now, but I've got the copper piece and I've got the steel blade. Now what I first want to do is file the tip off of that end right there. That was it. Again, I don't know if you can see that, but the tip has been filed down so it's rounded, so that should fit flush with the blade when I solder it. Now after I'm done with that, what I do is I clean the whole part up with the wire wheel. And this is a fine wire wheel. They come in coarse, medium, and fine. I use a fine one. Just clean this up really quick. Okay, so the piece has been nicely shined. I do this because it also helps with the aging process, but it also gets rid of burrs that Again, my parts are cut with a water jet cutter, and so since copper is a pretty soft metal, you get these burrs along the edge here. So the bench grinder really helps to smooth out these edges so you don't cut yourself or have any rough edges. So makes them really nice and smooth. So the piece has been nice and shined. It's ready for soldering. Do not touch it with your bare hands. If you do, probably won't make much of a difference, but you want to try and keep it as clean as possible. So just get in the habit of not touching it when you're done. Now what I want to do with the blade is right here is where the soldering is going to go, and all I want to do is take the wire wheel and buff up that edge. And I don't want to buff up the whole thing, but just the bottom portion where the soldering is going to go. So let's just get that done. Okay, I'm sure that was exciting to watch. I'm not going to edit this to shorten the video because I just don't want to take any shortcuts. I just want to make sure you see a totally unedited version. Again, let me see if I can see this here. But anyway, I don't know if you can see that, but the bottom part where the soldering is going to go, it has been cleaned with the wire wheel, and you don't want to touch that because solder sticks much better to copper than it does to steel, and typically that's where you run into the biggest problems, is getting the solder to stick to the steel. We're basically done out in the garage, so now we just go back into my little building workroom and we will get this thing soldered. So hang tight. Okay, so here we are back in my little workspace. I've got the clean piece here, clean piece of copper, and the blade. Now I've got my vise set up. I've got this vise set up a little bit higher than this one. This is the one that holds the blade. This is the one that holds the copper fingertip. So let me just get these situated. Now what I do is I clamp the blade gently, because you don't want to smash the thing, obviously, sideways. So I always solder it sideways. Just want to make sure it's straight, which it isn't. Okay. So it's situated. I'm going to try and zoom in. Again, I'm looking at this upside down. Screw it. Let me just bring it over here.